pretty soon you'd remember where chapter 16 was. So if you're working every day, if you're working full time, and there's 16 chapters in the book, you're going to read the whole book every month, and then some. And nobody's going to sit down and read the whole book cover to cover every month. So make that little 3-minute investment. I learned this from an early business partner who was a professional baseball player. The guy's name still is his name. And he played right here in this town. He was the highest paid shortstop in the American League, played for the Angels in the 60s. Anybody remember the 60s? They say if you remember the 60s, you probably weren't there. But his name's Jim Fregosi. And he lived in Anaheim, and he played for the Angels, and he was a great ball player. And we were having lunch one day, and he said, "Ron, I got to get out to the ballpark and take batting practice." And I looked at him and I said, "You got to take batting practice? I mean, you've been batting your whole life. What do you got to take batting practice for?" And he said, "Ron, we don't take batting practice to learn how to hit. We all know how to hit. We take batting practice to get focused on tonight's game." You see, when I go out to the ballpark, I can't help it. I got all kinds of other stuff in my head. I got a little bit of little Jimmy in my head. I got a little bit of Jan in my head. I got a little bit of our upcoming vacation in my head. I got all this stuff in my head. But to play at this level, you can't have anything else on your mind than tonight's game. So when we get into uniform and we go out to the ballpark and we take batting practice, we get focused. It flushes all that other stuff out. And I never forgot that. And that's the same principle that I'm talking about when you read a chapter a day. It'll get you focused. Not to mention, you might still have something to learn about hitting. You might pick up a tip that you missed the first time through.